Welcome to Good Morning America's Team, only on America's Team Network. I'm Tommy, Utah. Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys might be setting up a move that could change everything. There's growing talk that Dallas could make a serious push for Travon Walker and possibly give up major assets to get it done. And on the surface, it sounds aggressive. It sounds like they're trying to fix the defense. But here's the real question. Is this a smart move? Or are the Cowboys about to overpay for potential? Because if you're giving up that kind of value, you're not betting on what a player might become, you're betting on what he already is. And that's where things get interesting. We're breaking it all down right after this. Hey everyone, Tommy, Utah here. Let's talk about something we all deal with but rarely fix: poor sleep and that nagging neck stiffness. Waking up feeling stiff can ruin your entire day, especially for the gym goers and sports fans who push their bodies hard. That's why I want to show you the Dallas Ergo. It's an engineered sleep solution designed for actual recovery and comfort. This butterfly design has targeted zones to keep your spine aligned, whether you sleep on your back, side, or even your stomach. It uses high-density memory foam and cooling technology so you're not tossing and turning, searching for the cool side of the pillow. When your neck is actually supported, you wake up ready to tackle the day. It's about sleep performance, pure and simple. If you want better rest and a more comfortable night's sleep, you owe it to yourself to check this out. Head to the link in our bio or description to learn more about Dallas Ergo. Your neck will thank you.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. We going up. It's go time. It's go time.
So the Cowboys are reportedly considering trading a first-round pick for Travon Walker, right? And there's a lot to unpack on that front.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A big gamble when you think about it.
Right, because on paper, Walker is athletic and has explosive upside, but his consistency is still in question, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole idea is like the Cowboys seem to be trading future production for, just potential. And that's a risk when you're giving up a first rounder.
Exactly. If you swap in a first round pick, you're not just trading for a maybe. The expectation is high production from day one.
Right, and you're also building a defense that has been struggling all season. It's almost like the move is out of desperation rather than a well-thought-out plan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at it this way. You don't fix a systemic issue with one move, right? Defense is about discipline, system, and communication. Trading a first rounder for one player seems to ignore that complexity.
Exactly. And think about the bigger picture. The Cowboys have a problem that goes way beyond an individual player's upside. There's like a depth issue too. They've fallen into the trap of chasing names rather than solutions.
Right, I totally agree. Now here's a thought. Do you think there's any scenario where this could work out well for them? I mean, what if Walker, against all odds, just bursts onto the scene?
I get that possibility, but the question is about consistency and production. Look, Walker is explosive on paper, but he's yet to prove he's that dominant player. And giving up a first rounder means you're betting future success on him, which is risky.
That's a fair assessment, but playing devil's advocate for a minute, could it be that the Cowboys are like trying to be bold? Maybe they think a fresh burst of athleticism could change the defensive dynamic.
I mean, bold moves can work sometimes, but this move smacks more of desperation. When you're trading a high-value asset like a first-round pick, you have to be way more certain, of immediate production, not just promise.
Right, and it's not like defense is a one-trick pony. It's this entire system of discipline, depth, and communication. As we said, one guy can't magically mend all that with his presence.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't the first time we've seen the Cowboys do this. They often fall in love with the idea of a flashy player rather than evaluating what the player truly brings to the table.
Yeah, that's been the trend. I mean, think about the long-term impact. Trading away a high draft pick can really set your team back if the player doesn't pan out. It's like you're sacrificing depth and future assets for a maybe that might not even address the core issues.
Absolutely. And consider the message it sends about the team's planning. It's almost as if they're chasing results in the short term rather than building a stable, consistent defense.
Right on. But what do you say to those fans who argue that a high upside player like Walker might be the spark needed to turn things around? They might contend, hey, maybe it's time to take a risk. Isn't there some merit to that?
I understand that perspective, and it's true that high risk, high reward moves can sometimes pay off. But, the problem is that the risk here is enormous. You're giving up a first-round pick, which is not just a token asset, it's a cornerstone for the future.
Yeah, and it's a tough call. I mean, what if the team had made similar moves in the past that eventually paid off? Could this be a case of tried and tested chaotic decision-making?
Well, to me, it seems like a recurring issue. They keep leaning on bold, big moves that rarely address the systemic problems in their defense. It's almost like the strategy isn't evolving, just repeating the same errors.
Right, and when you get into that territory, you just patching a leaky boat with a bucket, hoping it holds. It's not a sustainable solution to fix underlying issues.
Exactly, and if you look at the breakdown, it's not just about Walker's individual talent. It's about whether the Cowboys have a concrete plan. Are they like fixing the system, or just hoping one brilliant move can fix everything?
Yeah, I totally get that. So then the real question becomes, what do we call this move? A desperate gamble or a calculated risk?
Right, and to be honest, it leans more toward desperation. When you're trading away a first-round pick, you're committing to a level of production that this move just doesn't guarantee.
I wonder how they'll rationalize it if Walker doesn't deliver quickly. Would they come back and say it was all part of a larger plan to retool the defense?
That's a good point. It would ultimately come down to whether they can articulate a sustainable, systematic plan for their defense. Otherwise, it's just another headline-grabbing move that fails to address the root issues.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a critique, if I might add. Isn't it a bit short-sighted to rely on one player to be the cornerstone of a defensive rebuild, especially when a defense is such a collective effort?
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that. It's problematic because a defense is like an intricate machine. The tiniest misalignment affects the whole system. Trading away a first-round pick for a single part, especially one unproven, is like putting a flashy new engine in a car with failing brakes.
That's a vivid analogy, and it really brings it home. The engine might be impressive, but if the brakes don't work, you're in trouble, right?
Exactly right. And it's that sort of thinking where the future is sacrificed for, the hope of a quick fix. It comes off as more of a panic move than a confident shift in strategy.
Yes, indeed. So in your view, what should the Cowboys be doing instead?
Well, ideally, they'd address the systemic issues, building depth, improving discipline, and fostering better communication on the field. Instead of tossing away high draft capital for one uncertain play, they should invest in a holistic plan.
That's spot on. It's like building a house. You don't just replace one brick without considering the entire foundation.
Exactly. And when the foundation is off, no amount of fancy bricks is going to fix it. One player, no matter how explosive, won't cover up weaknesses in system and discipline in the long run.
And let's be honest, if the Cowboys have shown this pattern before, it's a sign that they're repeating history rather than learning from it, right?
Yeah, it's the same old playbook. Chase the name, ignore the system. That's the issue here. It's almost like they're seduced by the allure of potential without the sober assessment of what's needed for a championship defense.
Right, absolutely. So if this trade goes through, it could in a way be seen as a critical test of whether the Cowboys are serious about long-term team building or just reacting to immediate struggles.
Exactly. It's not just about Walker, it's about the overall strategy. Are they building for tomorrow or just patching up a problem today?
Yeah, I'd say so. And in that light, it turns into a broader conversation about team philosophy and management decisions. Do you think this might lead them to reevaluate more than just defense?
It should, ideally. A move this significant could serve as a wake-up call. But if nothing changes in the deeper structure and strategy, then it sounds like the same old narrative of chasing maybe rather than executing a plan.
Right, very true. In the end, if the Cowboys are truly in a rebuilding or transformational mode, the trade should reflect a solid plan, not just a desperate gamble. Otherwise, it might just be another example of trying to buy success rather than building it.
I couldn't have said it better. The key takeaway is that talent alone doesn't fix systemic issues. It takes a deliberate, well-thought-out strategy. And right now, all signs point to a lack of that strategic depth.
Thanks for breaking that down. This kind of deep dive really shows that every move, especially one involving a first-round pick, has to be weighed carefully.
Absolutely.
We're looking at more than just a trade rumor. We're seeing the heartbeat of organizational strategy on display.
And that, in the long run, is what builds a champion. Until next time, it's important for fans to keep questioning and holding teams accountable to real progress rather than just flashy fixes.
Well said. That wraps up our discussion on the Cowboys and the Travon Walker trade rumors. Thanks for diving into this critical analysis with me.
Thanks for joining, folks. Catch you on the next segment for more in-depth conversation on the latest moves in football.
Hey, man, y'all already know what it is. That's another real breakdown from Good Morning America's team. No narratives, no sugarcoating, just real talk about what's really going on with this team. If you rocking with what we doing over here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tapped in. We dropping content all week, and we just getting started. Shout out to America's Team Network and Clem Dynasty Productions for making all this possible. And until next time, stay real, stay locked in, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime.